everybody. Happy Friday. As you'll see in a minute, I've been really busy today. When you get a look at my kitchen, you can see there's a whole lot going on. First of all, I made John and I a couple of nice salads, and I also decided to make my honey mustard dressing, which is really delicious to go with it. So follow me into the kitchen, and I'll tell you how I made it. Okay, all it is a third of a cup of mustard. I use Dijon. A third of a cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a half a cup of mayonnaise, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of dry dill weed. That's all it is. And you just stir it with the spoon, and then you can even shake it. I put it in the mason jar, and you're done. That's it. So the next thing I had told you that I was going to do is make the lobster pie today, which I had to get a lot of stuff prepped. I didn't want to make pie crust and try to do that all, while I was videoing. So I added another little element to our dinner tonight, and I made baked stuffed mushrooms. They should be coming out of the oven in about 10 minutes or so, and about the time that I'm done sauteing what I have for the lobster pie. But I will post the recipe for the baked stuffed mushrooms. I'll have to, put it down according to memory because it's my own recipe. I didn't get it from anyone else, and I've tried making it different ways over the years, and this is really yummy and pretty easy too. And I usually double the stuffing so that I can put it in 2 Ziploc bags in the freezer for another time. So right now, I've got 1 large onion and 3/4 of a cup of chopped fennel, sauteing in 1 stick of butter. This is how you start your lobster pie. And that's going to go for about 5 more minutes. And then to that, we want that sauteed really, really good, okay? And then into that, we're going to put a half a cup of all-purpose flour. That's what's going to give you the thickening thing for your lobster pie. So you saute the onions and fennel in a large saute pan on medium heat until the onions are translucent, 10 to 15 minutes. They've been going, they're almost done, about 5 more minutes. And then you're going to add the flour and cook on low heat for 3 more minutes, stirring occasionally. Slowly add the lobster stock. So let me start by giving you all the ingredients that you're going to need for the lobster pot pie, and then we'll go back to that. So the ingredients are 1½ cups of chopped yellow onion, 3/4 of a cup of chopped fennel, like I said, or 1 fennel bulb. The only place I've been able to find fennel here is at Whole Foods, so you may have better luck there, wherever you may be. You need 1/4 pound of unsalted butter, half a cup of flour, 2½ cups of fish stock or clam juice. Now what I did was I had to buy my lobster frozen because you can't get lobsters here, fresh lobsters, but they're fine. I've used it before and they're very good. So what I did was I defrosted the lobsters last night. I took the shells off, broke up the lobster meat into bite-sized pieces, and then I took my lobster shells and put them in a stock pot, covered them in water, and let them simmer for like 2 to 3 hours to get all that lobster stock. And it'll look like this. And you need 2½ cups of this once we start putting everything together, okay? So I've got some here and here, and I've got some extra in the refrigerator that I'll probably freeze for something. And the next thing is you need 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt, or sea salt, 3/4 of a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, 3/4 of a pound of cooked fresh lobster meat, 1½ cups of frozen peas, not baby peas, just regular frozen ones, okay? And 1½ cups of frozen small whole onions, pearl onions. And then a half a cup of minced flat leaf parsley. So here's where we get going on. Yeah, we've got about 3 more minutes to go. So Next, the flour goes in. In the meantime, you break up your lobster meat, add your parsley, your frozen pearl onions, and your peas, okay? So that those are all ready to go once this sauce is done, okay? So then you're gonna pour that sauce over that whole mixture, and then it's gonna go right into your pan with the crust on the bottom. The crust does not have to go all the way up the sides. I like to use a casserole dish for this dish because it's heavy, but you can certainly use a pie pan if you want to. And then this one is all ready to go over the top of the mixture once that's done. Okay, so this is going pretty good right now. About another minute. Yeah, I don't know why I got it in my head to make these baked stuffed mushrooms. I just thought, maybe we'll have a little appetizer and we'll have the salad with the lobster pie. I'll probably have copious amounts of leftovers, so, but that's okay because they reheat very well. Okay, so that right there is your fennel bowl. Fennel is really interesting. I mean, I didn't know what it was going to do the first time I ever made this dish, but it has kind of a licorice type flavor to it, but it just really, I mean, between that and the pearl onions and the fish and everything, it all goes together perfectly, and it's so delicious. Okay, I think this is just about all set. So I'm going to stop this because I need to keep timing my baked stuffed mushrooms for 7 more minutes. So about the time this is about ready to go in the oven, which is going to be the same temperature the mushrooms are at, 375 degrees. Then the mushrooms will come out and you can see the finished result. But again, like I said, I will post the recipe for the mushrooms on Facebook and you can see how good they're going to look, okay? So next, we're going to put in I already put my salt and pepper in there, by the way. We're going to put the flour in next. And you're going to just stir it around, just to get it all mixed in with everything so that it's going to give this sauce a really nice, rich, thick base. And you can imagine by making the lobster stock from the shells, I mean, this whole dish is just flavored with lobster. It's just absolutely delicious. See, that's how it's going to look when you've got it all mixed in, just kind of like that. And then what you're going to do is slowly add in your lobster stock. Again, this is just the shells boiled down with 2.5 cups, lobster shells boiled down, covered with water for like 2-3 hours, you know, until you smell that broth and you can smell the fish. So then you slowly pour this in. This is 2 cups, so I need to add another 1/2 cup to it. Are you salivating yet, Judy? I know you're going to be watching this because you wanted this recipe. So good, you ate. Oh. Okay. All in there. Then I have a little reserved over here, so that I can add 1/2 cup. Just like that. Lots of dishes when you're making this, I'll tell you that. Okay. we're going to put this in. So that's the 2½ cups of your lobster stock right there, okay? Now, we want this to come to a boil because that's what's going to thicken it. And it's on, you know, between medium and medium high. See how that thickened right up like that? It's fantastic. You can stir it just to make sure it's all nice and creamy and smooth. Okay, now to that you're going to add 3 tablespoons, this is only 2, so I need to get more, of heavy cream. That's it for that. Just want to lower the heat, stir that all in together. So that all the cream is in there. And that is exactly how it's going to come out, just like that. And I'm just going to add just a little bit more salt and just a little bit more pepper. You can do this to taste. You don't have to add either one if you don't want, but me, I like seasonings. Okay, so the next thing is once that's all stirred together, all you're gonna do is come over here and you're gonna pour this right over this mixture of the pearl onions, bite-sized pieces of lobster, and the peas, okay? Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. It's amazing. And then you're going to just fold it all together. So that all that yumminess gets mixed in. This is heaven in a bowl right here, guys. Yep. There it is. Okay, perfect timing. The mushrooms are ready to come out. Here they are. Crab meat stuffed mushrooms. There's Swiss cheese, oops, excuse me. There's Swiss cheese on the bottom, butter on the bottom, then your crab meat mixture, and then Parmesan slices of cheese on top. There's garlic, there's red bell pepper, and I'll tell you, they're yummy. But I will post the recipe for you. And now we're going to take this and we're going to dump it right into this casserole dish I have. Okay. Smooth it out. Okay. Next, I've already got my pie crust rolled out, so that's going to go right on top. Try to avoid getting flour on the floor. It doesn't always work, but I try. Okay. So then, you pull it right across the top. Just like that. And you don't even have to trim the edges. You can just leave it just like that, okay? Because what you're gonna do, keep this staying right on there, is just wet your hands, go right around the edge. You might lose some in the fridge, which is why I'm in the fridge, in the oven, which is why I always, now I keep aluminum foil in there, okay? And then we're good. Okay. Go. So now this is going to go in to a 350 degree oven. Fine if you have too many big long pieces, you can just pull those off, but it should be fine. 350 degree oven, I'm sorry, no, 375 degree oven for a grand total of 1 hour and 15 minutes. There you have the lobster pot pie. And that's it. So, as I said before, I will post both the pie crust recipe and the baked stuffed shrimp. And baked stuffed shrimp. Baked stuffed mushrooms. I was thinking about, since I had that leftover filling for the mushrooms earlier, I was thinking about, oh, this would be good on baked stuffed shrimp. And that came right to my mind just then. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and will want to try this because I'm telling you, it is to die for. Yum, yum, yum. Thanks for checking in today, and I'm not sure what tomorrow's going to bring. Maybe I'll just surprise you. Have a great evening, guys. Take care. Thanks.